G'day viewers, how are you? I'm doing a late weekend version of TFU. Long-term viewers know I tried to round out the week on a Friday with Totally Fucked Up Friday, and one thing or another, I don't always get it done on Friday. And it's a long weekend in Australia. For Australia, I've been taking it kind of easy and letting a vibe again. And sometimes when I don't get stuff done as soon as I maybe could have, I get the benefit of something happening. And not doing this video early did give me the benefit of seeing Donald Trump totally fucking cave. He is the caveman. Front page of US newspapers calling him caveman because he caved to Nancy Pelosi. He, after the longest government shutdown in history, federal workers not getting paid for a month for fucking nothing. Trump gained literally nothing and lost the support of a lot of his hyper-conservative supporters for being a fucking loser and caving. He got less than nothing. He got a bunch of really pissed off workers. Like, broadly speaking, there were 800,000 federal workers who weren't getting paid while the shutdown was happening. And they may get some back pay, but slightly less publicised. There's about 1 million contractors who are contracted by the federal government who not only weren't getting paid during the shutdown, they will get zero back pay. And considering I'm a contractor myself, but not for the government, yeah, I can empathise with those people because that's some serious fucking bullshit. And there's a whole cavalcade of stuff. I don't know if funny is the right word, but some of the federal workers who weren't getting paid, who kept going to work, okay, I did say he caved to Nancy Pelosi, but seriously, the people who had the most power were the air traffic controllers. Like in New York, the LaGuardia airport just went, yeah, get fucked, we're all calling in sick, and that would shut down the airport. And Trump was already super unpopular for how this was going. And that was one of the key things that did make him cave. Yes, caveman, forevermore. The fun thing is that works on a number of levels. People who were his supporters, notably Ann Coulter, who's super angry at him for caving. But also, if you're against him, it's a double meaning. Like, he caved in and got nothing for his shutdown except a lot of negativity. And of course, his attitudes are really fucking regressive, and he may as well be a caveman. And that will stick with him. And that is kind of funny. It's shallow and borderline meaningless, but Trump is shallow and borderline meaningless. So having the nickname caveman applied to him will really fucking piss him off and probably make him act even more irrationally and act in a more self-destructive manner. Because coinciding with this was, of course, about the 6th of his close associates, Roger Stone, being indicted and arrested by the FBI. And holy fuck, that's got to make Trump freak out a bit. And it's telling the conservatives who still, after all these arrests, all these indictments, all these convictions and guilty pleas, still persist with this ridiculous fiction of, oh, the Mueller investigation's a witch hunt, it's meaningless. Go, you don't get dozens of convictions and guilty pleas out of witch hunts. See, the conservatives have been harassing the Clintons with ridiculous conspiracies since the 90s and have got fucking diddly squat out of it. The last 2 years, the Mueller investigation has got dozens of indictments. And like I said, half a dozen of them have been people who've been incredibly close to Trump or the Trump campaign. And the idea that he's not going to get touched by this is absolutely ridiculous. And the most humorous thing to me is after Roger Stone, a lot of people saying when you look at the indictment, it starts making it clear that Steve Bannon is incredibly likely to be an upcoming indictment, but also Don Jr., which would be hilarious. I feel like this is just stringing Trump out. Like, seriously, how long can Trump avoid indictment and investigation when so many of his close associates have been on the receiving end of this? Like, he must be freaking right out. And honestly, getting Don Jr. would be hilarious because everyone would go absolutely ballistic at this point. And while there's been quite a bit of schadenfreude for me and others in seeing hardcore Trump supporters get angry at him for caving at the whole shutdown and losing completely, gaining absolutely nothing and losing everything, I have to admit, finding the one or two people who still aggressively support Trump is just, it's comedy gold. I mean, seeing someone, and he's, dude, literally saying, oh, you know what Democrats' first problem is? Thinking they're smarter than Trump. Dude, honestly, there are inbred, lobotomized Labradors out there who are going, fuck me, I'm smarter than this Trump guy, aren't I? Holy shit, how do you get to be that big a fucking idiot? But this guy has gone on to say, oh, Democrats think they're smarter. You know the reason Trump says stupid shit? He's thinking too much. This guy actually called Trump a strategy supercomputer and said that he does the occasional verbal stumble because he's thinking of strategy too much. Yes, that is the most desperate reach I have ever heard. Trump says mind-bogglingly stupid shit because he's thinking too much. Don't forget him having the strategy. What is the strategy? Normally the giveaway is as soon as anyone goes, oh, Trump's playing chess while Pelosi's playing checkers. Or the real big one is anyone who starts talking about three-dimensional or multi-dimensional chess. That is the dead giveaway that the person making that statement is a fucking idiot. And I was like, to the extent, I don't know how these people are able to go out in public after making public statements, whether it's to the media or Twitter or Facebook, and saying something just embarrassingly stupid about how they still support Trump. How do these people go out in public? Like, anyone who knows who they are will be fucking laughing at him. Like when his confidant Roger Stone got arrested. It was really funny to see conservatives saying the way he was arrested was bad. Like, they can't even say the arrest in and of itself is bad. No, they should have given him no. See, in case you didn't know, like if you just watch cop shows and think the way the cops always arrest people is kicking down doors and getting people. No, rich people are often given options. Rich people are often told that, look, you are going to be indicted and law enforcement officers will show up at this hour to arrest you and bring you in, and then you'll go before a judge who will release you on bond. But and they're all prepared, and they can have a speech prepared, and they can have how they're walked out prepared. The FBI, who humorously weren't getting paid when they stormed Roger Stone's apartment, they just kicked down the door early in the morning and marched him out. See, Roger Stone, on top of the weirdness of being a Trump supporter, he has this weird sort of cosplay thing happening when he semi-regularly cosplays what appears to be a villain from the 70s Batman TV show whose name you can't remember. That's his thing. Cool, dude. You like dressing up. Sometimes I dress up. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with that. But he didn't get to do this with this FBI arrest. He's basically marched out in his pajamas. And then he was, predictably, released on bond. And he made his little press conference. And two things were hilarious. One was some shots that were shown of his rich neighbours fucking laughing at him like, dipshit, you got arrested by the FBI. And the other one was some people in the crowd chanting really loudly, "Lock him up, lock him up," while he tried to bluster his way to the media that nothing was wrong. It's like, dude, every single person who's been indicted by the Mueller investigation has either been found guilty or pled guilty. The odds of you being the first one to buck that trend are pretty goddamn small. And it's pretty goddamn funny to see this in action. And really, it warms my bitter, twisted old heart. The only thing that warms me more is the local political scene in Australia, because the Conservative Liberal National Party coalition who run the federal government in Australia are fucking 10 flavours of fucked. There will be a federal election sometime between March and May. Hasn't been called yet. We have very short official election campaigns compared to the US. Like the US, 2 years out from the next presidential campaign, people are already aggressively campaigning. Our formal election campaign is only about a month long. When the government announces an actual election date, it's usually only about a month before the actual election. So sometime between March and May, we'll have a federal election where the government's going to get fucking creamed. I mean, the degree to which they're going to get creamed is their own ranks are going, fuck this noise. In about the last week, 3 government ministers have resigned. They've said, I'm not contesting the next election. This is not just people who were elected previously. This is people in the senior positions within the administration looking at the reality that faces them and going, oh no, fuck that noise. I don't want to go through all the shit of campaigning just to lose and be humiliated. I'm just fucking out. I'm going to take my cushy parliamentary pension and fucking leave. And it was hilarious because a bit over a week ago, the first government minister, Kelly O'Dwyer, did it. And Prime Minister Scummo fronted the media going, no, there's not going to be an exodus. This is a one-off. 2 more ministers in the following week. Not backbenchers, not people who aren't important to the way the government runs. Actual government ministers said, fuck this, I'm out. And that was just in the last week. The lead up to the election is going to be spectacular. If you want to see me really drunk and really ranting, I will definitely be doing a live stream on election night. Whenever it happens, sometime between March and May, as I said. And I'm not going to play any drinking games. Like someone had said, take a shot every time an MP loses a seat. Fuck no. The most conservative estimates are they're going to lose 20 seats. The out there estimates are they're going to lose 40 seats. Either of those as a drinking game is fucking fatal alcohol poisoning. There's no way I'm doing that. But I will be doing a live stream. It will be awesome. And if you want to see it, it's gonna be fucked.